morning, everyone. So I am a fan of House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, and I always like to play this fun little game of what can I actually learn and apply to real life based on this supremely over-the-top series. And as I was watching last night's episode, I started thinking about organizational change, because of course those two go together, right? But I started thinking about organizational change, the work that I've done with organizations leading planned and more reactionary change processes, and thought it would be fun to try to extrapolate a few quick best practices based on what we saw, or based on what I saw yesterday. And full disclosure, I binge watched a couple of episodes back to back yesterday, including the season 2 premiere. So with that, a couple of things that are do's and a couple of things that are maybe don'ts, right? So I'm Team Black at this point, but I will say that I think that Team Green got a number of things right. So when we talk about an organizational change, whether it's big, whether it's small, no matter where you put it, communication is key. And communicating with your stakeholders at every level. So it is probably really easy to talk to your leadership team, the people who are in essence engineering the change. But how are you talking to your staff? How are you talking to all of your external stakeholders? And a key mistake that I think people make, and what I saw Team Green do really well, is they manage their message. There is no way that the king should have died and word of that did not leak out at all to outside of the kingdom, and it never made it to Rey and her people at all. And they coordinated a whole new king in a very short amount of time because they needed to manage that message and make sure nothing leaked out. They did that really well. They made sure that the people of King's Landing understood that king is dead, new king, before anybody could interrupt with that. So in practical application, ensuring that you are managing your message, but that you are actually communicating with the people that you need to communicate with. I'm a fan of a communication plan. I know that for some people, it can seem really silly to actually sit and list out all of the stakeholders. What are the messages that we want to send to them? What is the key messages for each one of these individuals, including your staff? But it is incredibly important. I put those together a number of times, and they are so helpful to be able to go back and look at your roadmap of what it was you were trying to communicate. And in those communications, not just what's happening, but why is this happening? What does it mean for me? That's what people want to know. That's what will propel questions that you should be willing to take from people. But it's important, and I thought that Team Green got that really well in terms of how they locked down the kingdom and made sure that the message that got out was the message they wanted to get out, and as a show of strength. So gold star, Team Green, sure.